All right, everyone, I got a good one for you today. It's Ryan Howe with Small Business News. Again, this is a show where I bring you just some of the information I share with my clients every single day. I can learn more about what I do at summitbusinessguys.com. So, coffee badging, do you know what that is? It's a thing, folks. And it's something that's always occurred, but I think it's interesting that now it's got a name to it because of how prevalent it is. So let's get in here and let's get right into it today. Again, as always, links to everything we're going to be talking about are going to be in the description somewhere around here. Again, this is from Huffington Post. In defense of coffee badging, the new controversial new office trend. Employees are expected to swipe in the office. Chances are some people are doing this. Again, this is by Monica Torres here. So with this, do you swipe into your office building to meet your in-person mandate, but leave as soon as possible? There's a word for your covert strategy, which isn't covert. Trust me, the bosses are all aware of it. It's called coffee badging. Yeah, it's where you show up to work long enough for a coffee or a meeting expressly to fulfill the in-office mandates while primarily continuing to work from home whenever you can. The new workplace lingo was popularized by video conferencing company Owl Labs. The company defined it as showing face at the office and then leaving. In a 2023 report of 2,000 full-time U.S. workers, 58% of hybrid employees said they were coffee badging, with an additional 8% saying they were interested in trying it out. I imagine that number is actually higher than that, but let's keep going. Let's see a LinkedIn poll here. 1,000 poll on LinkedIn of 1,568 people. 19% of LinkedIn users said they were still coffee badging into work. That number's higher than that, folks. Now, and a Chicago-based IT project manager for a health insurance company is one of them. The company has a hybrid policy, and who has to keep her last name private for her job. Heads up, Amanda. They already know who you are if they're reading this. It said managers are open to employees that badge swipes are being tracked for badge reports, which calculate the percentage of people in office per week or month. She's not had a conversation about her own attendance record, but knowing that her badge swipes could potentially result in a performance issue has made her diligent about commuting to the office, but she does not want to have that conversation come up at all. And what we're having here is something that's pretty common. We'll get back to it in a second. Is that, again, for everybody that is in management and leadership out there, if you set the rule that employees have to do X number of times per X in order to be compliant with, whatever the rule set is, they are going to do exactly what you're saying to the letter. That's exactly what's happening here. They're saying you need to be swiped in, you need to be here for a certain amount to account for your hybrid strategy, the in-office time. That's what they're going to do. So just this isn't I would say a scam per se. I don't look at it that way. This is you put this requirement in place. The employees are going to find a way to basically just do the minimum on this and then go do basically their hybrid work. This isn't surprising. So let's get back into it. All right. So as a result, Amanda stays for at least 4 hours to signal, "I'm here," she said, but will head home when she can. Feeling of having her attendance tracked does make her uncomfortable. If she could, she'd be a 100% remote employee because she finds in-office days with commuting to be draining and a waste of time. A waste of time. That's one thing that these, again, leaders and managers need to understand. This is exactly what a large portion of your staff think about having just to come in the office to be seen. When they take into account their commute, plus, having to pay for lunch and all these other things that they have to do, they lose out on time, which is everyone's most valued commodity. And for many, many employees, losing that time to a commute, plus having to find parking and do everything involved with that, they'd rather just get to work at home. And just keep that in mind. I know you need to have it for accountability, and there's certain things there that's outside of your control. But understand, this is a natural response to this. Let's go through a little bit more, and then we'll wrap it up here. So why coffee badging can also be a response to employee surveillance. Yeah. So from her book, let's see here. The Algorithm, How AI Decides Who Gets Hired, Monitored, Promoted, and Fired, and Why We Need to Fight Back Now. Journalist Hilke Shellman? Sorry, Hilke, if I'm messing up your name there. Interviewed a head of HR who shared a story about a company making promotion layoff decision based on badge log data. They wanted to promote the people who had the longest hours at the office, so they looked at keycard swipe-in data. And then when it came to the pandemic, they had to look at layoffs, and they wanted to use this kind of data again to sort of understand who were the least productive people, and they're going to look at badge data logs. But to be clear, your badge swipes are a flawed signal of your performance. Yeah, no kidding. Good Lord. Using badge swipes to determine productivity, don't say could, will harm people who are on medical leave or people who have caregiving obligations, who we know have literally fewer chances to be at their desk than others. So why are employers tempted to find deeper meaning with badge logs despite clear flaws? The real answer is lazy. They're looking for something simple, just like all of us, right? Everybody here, they're looking for easy. And maybe not lazy is not the word, but they're looking for something easy. So take away lazy, something easy. It's a data point. Managers just sort of want to look around the room and see butts and seats. Oh, it's my least favorite type of management. Again, it's all about impression management. There we go. Now, again, they're giving you some advice on how to manage it and everything. You can come back here and check this out if you want to, folks. Again, link is in the description here. I don't want to take up any more of your time. And I just wanted to bring this to your attention out here on YouTube land, that coffee badging is a thing. And within your organization, if you are monitoring swipes, you need to make sure that you have second, third, and fourth. You have second. If you are looking at badge swipes as a data point, there needs to be additional data points that you are looking at in order to add qualitative measures to the quantitative measure that you have as far as for the swipes. As in, how well are these people your employees working? Have you talked to them to see about, is it worth their time to come in and actually, is it affecting their you need to talk to your employees and find out, is it really worth their time to come in and just play the game for you? Or is that negatively affecting their ability to get their work done? Because now they're having to figure out how to come in, swipe, and make it work in order to just meet some company mandate. Again, something I talk with my clients about all the time is that you need to be aware of a couple things. Anytime you put a rule in place, employees are going to figure out, okay, what's the minimum I have to do to meet the requirement, meet the standard? That's what they're going to do. And the second piece is that you need to be wary of third and fourth order effects of these, rules that you're putting into place. What is it that you are actually trying to quantify? Like, what are you trying to get to and measure by this, rule that you're putting in? What type of behaviors are you trying to set? And what I would recommend anybody who's gone down this road, or they're thinking about going down this road as far as for the badge in policy to measure those, I would actually talk to the employees. I would talk to your managers. I would talk to your team leads, talk to the employees and say, okay, what is it you actually need in order to be successful? What do you need in order to deliver whatever you're working on to the next person? What do they need? And try to find a way so that way you're not having to play these silly games. Because what happens when you're playing these silly games where you're monitoring swipes, that's time and energy that is being wasted, which isn't really making the company any more productive and helping the bottom line. It's just BS type of work. You're asking a manager to look at these things and make decisions off of one data point. Don't do that, folks. And managers, when you're looking to implement policy like this, work with your teams to figure out what actually works for them in order to meet the requirement. When you put these arbitrary, we need you to swipe in at least 2 times a week to be here, that's what you're going to get is 2 times. Rather than figure out a way with your teams to say, hey, we need to ensure that we're getting together as a team on a consistent basis. Why don't you put your heads together and let me know what you think that looks like for you in order to not just meet your requirements, but to perform at a high level and see what your teams come up with. This is one of the main issues that I've seen and experienced over the years, and I caution my clients against just implementing something without discussing with the individuals who have to implement it on how to best meet the requirements. So with that, again, I'm off soapbox now. Thank you for hanging out here. Hopefully I earned your subscription today. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.